what's going on, guys? Jay here from Inside Out. I just want to get on here real quick here on TikTok and of course other social media platforms and kind of give out a very important message for every single one of you out there that are dealing with a locked up loved one somewhere here in the States. All right. So what I'm about to tell you is very crucial and important, and I'm hoping that you guys will watch this video all the way to the beginning, middle, and end. And hopefully some of this information I'm about to tell you is going to work out for you and your locked up loved one. All right, so what am I talking about? Well, as you guys can see in the title description of this video, we're going to be telling you or teaching you how to sue or file a lawsuit inside of our prisons. And that's including all the way down to, county, which is county jail, state prisons, and all the way up to the big boys, federal prisons. All right, guys? So I want to make sure you guys understand that. All three of those qualify for lawsuits. But you got to make sure you have all your evidence and other factors in play before your lawsuit becomes fruitful. So let's get into it. Number one, you got to make sure, very importantly, that you exhaust the prison grievance system. You've heard me talk about this before on this platform and other platforms, what the grievance system is in more detail. So I'm not going to explain it here, but nonetheless, I'm telling you guys right now that is very important. Otherwise, your lawsuit that you're trying to conduct will fail. Always understand that. So you've got to make sure you exhaust it to the T, the grievance system. And every prison has one. If not, they should have one. All right? So make sure that you get all your grievances filed, and then once you have a paper trail, basically what it's called, then you can take the next step in your lawsuit. I hope that makes sense. Number two or number three, make sure you have all your evidence gathered. You cannot win your lawsuit without it. And of course, whoever you're doing it against, they're going to have their evidence against you. So you better make sure you have your evidence against them. That's how that works. Basically, it's good versus evil all the time. And you got to make sure you have all your documents, all your paperwork in hand before you take the next step. All right? But you also have to ask yourself this question, and it's a very important question for all of you out there that's, that are locked up, or if you have a locked up loved one somewhere in the States. Okay? So here's what you need to do. First off, you got to make sure that you have a violation of some sort. Every locked up loved one in this country have rights. Yeah, you've heard me speak about that before in most of my videos here on this platform and others. All right? Every locked up loved one has rights. Not all of them, but the majority we do. Number one, First Amendment to the Constitution. Our locked up loved ones have that. They have the 4th, the 5th, and the 8th, and so many others. All right? So make sure that you know what right got violated before you file. Let's get into the rest of the important information. First thing on the list, and there's 9 of them, guard or prisoner brutality. Now we all know what that is, all right? I'm not going to get into details here tonight. Guard or prisoner brutality, and it happens on a daily. If that is being conducted or has happened with your locked up loved one in whatever prison he or she is in, you, my friend, have a potential lawsuit. I hope that helps and makes sense for all of you. Take notes if need be. Number 2, unsafe cell or prison conditions. Yes, this is a thing. And this information I'm reading off to you guys will be in this video. So look out for it. You can also download this information I'm reading off to you and send it in to your locked up loved one. All right? So again, unsafe cell or prison conditions. And that could be a slew of things. Right now, it's heat-related issues. That is inhumane, and you can actually sue for that. And that's being conducted as I sit here and do this video to you guys right now. Number 3, censorship or extremely limited mail, phone calls, or visit privileges. They can take them away, but they can't do it just because. They got to have a good cause or reason behind it. And our locked up loved ones have a certain amount that they're allowed to have. All right? If they just do it just to be a bunch of you-know-what, then that becomes a violation, and you can actually sue for that. All right? This information, by the way, you're not going to get this anywhere else. You're going to get this information right here with this channel with me, Jay, from Inside Out. Inaccurate medical care. And that's a big thing too going on right now too, guys. Inaccurate medical care. You have to make sure you get your medical, whatever the issue is. And if you get denied, well, depending on the reason why you're getting denied, and there's really no good reason because medical is very serious nonetheless, but it happens in there on daily, and you can set yourself up for a lawsuit if it's happening. Make sure you have your evidence to back it up. Let's see here. Next one down the list is interference with practicing your religion. I did a video on that. That happens on a daily too. So again, whatever religion you believe in, whatever God or Lord or whatever it is that you pray to, if they deny you that service or your right to have that, you can have a lawsuit. Make sure you have your evidence too on top of that. Inaccurate food. I'm not going to get into details here tonight on that one, but believe it or not, that happens on a daily. You have to have a certain amount of food. If it gets denied or whatnot, you can actually sue and go after that. More on that later in more detail in another video about the food. I've already done many of them, but it looks like I might have to do another one. All right. Racial, sexual, or ethnic discrimination. None of that's allowed in there, and it happens all the time. All right. So make sure that that evidence is collected, and you will win your lawsuit if you're filing something of that nature. All right. Next, last but not least, placement in the hole without a hearing. And that happens all the time too, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So make sure that if any of those violations, plus so many others, are being conducted right now with your locked up loved one in prison somewhere, you have a potential lawsuit. And you got to make sure you have all your documents filed, including the 1983 packet that you can get from your law library. Yep. Most prisons have law libraries, but some don't. So you're going to have your family or your attorney, if you have one, come and mail it in the proper documents to help you in your lawsuit. All right. If you don't know what you're doing inside there, find yourself a legal beagle or jailhouse lawyer, or get yourself an attorney on the outs. You got to know what you're doing before you can proceed with your lawsuit. Otherwise, it will fail. All right. So I'm hoping you guys can appreciate and like this information in this video. It's very important. If you missed any of it, go watch the replay. But I'll be doing podcasts, Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, Fridays at 9 o'clock. All right, and I'm usually live on my YouTube channel. If you don't belong to that, my YouTube link and everything like that is in the bio right here on TikTok. If you guys like this type of content and you want to hear and see more of it, man, please hit that sub.